Happy Wednesday, everybody. So good to be back. Cooperville Live is now streaming on a platform near you. Well, actually, completely near you since you are watching. If you are watching, I say thank you. Namaste. Namaste. We are on Facebook Live on the Welcome to Cooperville page. We are on YouTube, search Cooperville, and we are on Twitch. That would be No Limit Cooper, all one word. Got some people jumping on here. Got a big show today, big Wednesday show. Gets you over the hump of a Wednesday with two fabulous guests joining me today. Including, but not limited to, I shouldn't say it is limited to. My friend George Ducas is going to be on. Can't wait to talk to George. We had him on the first show, the debut show. Yeah, but the debut show was like 3.5 hours, and it was like guests every 10 minutes. We were just rapid fire. We were just saying hi to people, trying to build the show, right? George's like, oh, I want some more time. I'm like, all right, we got a whole hour. We got a whole hour with George. He'll be joining us shortly. Stand by. Cindy May, your power just went out. That's not good. Is there a storm? Did somebody cut the wrong wire? Hopefully that comes back on. You can let us know where you are watching, where you are listening, where you're paying attention from, of course, in the comments of all the platforms. Hopefully Cindy May gets the power back on. You can also get all exclusive with Cooperville Live on our Patreon. Patreon link is now in the comment sections of all of our platforms. We're moving a bunch of stuff over to Patreon. It's a slow process. There's so much stuff, but we're moving it over there. I know, but getting on that now. Patreon. The link again is in the show notes. Windy here now. It's windy here too. We have a wind advisory in effect tonight, and I believe a tornado watch in effect as well, which is weird for Wisconsin on March 10th. But alas, here we are. The snow is melting now. It's 58 degrees. It's been 58 degrees today. Beautiful day. I mean, it was raining, but it was, when it's not snowing, we take happiness in that, the fact that there's no snow on the ground. So we'll take it. Well, hopefully your power comes back on, Cindy May. We're hoping for you. And so if you want to jump on Patreon, we got a whole bunch of cool stuff we're working on there. We got some merch in the works, a bunch of cool things. So join the Patreon, 3 different tiers to join. And we've thrown a bunch of exclusive content that way from the show. But as I mentioned, George Ducas is going to be joining us here shortly. And we also have fabulous up-and-coming artist Katie Joe is going to be on with us. Again, another one of these artists that I'm so thankful for Instagram. Like it caters to my needs, and apparently my needs are like finding new artists, new music. And I'm scrolling through, and then her song pops up. I don't know where your heart's been, and I was like, "Say what now?" Totally fantastic sound, unique sound, and so we're going to talk to her coming up after 6 o'clock. But we got George Ducas coming up here in just a bit. So if you're hanging out waiting for George, I'll give you a little preview. See, look, he's right there. He's right there. That's just his website, georgeducas.com. That's not really him. He's not really live just yet, but he'll be here. He will join the program, and I thank you for doing exactly the same. So a lot of stuff going on in the news, and we'll throw some news stories out there before we get to George. I want to make sure that he's got some time to jump on here. The debate rages on about Bigfoot. Okay. Some people think he's real. Some people really think he's real. Some people make television shows about the fact that they believe he's real. Finding Bigfoot, is that one of them? I think it's Finding Bigfoot. Yeah. But Oklahoma, great state of Oklahoma. Of all the things going on in politics, this is the best. This takes the cake. We won't get into everything else that's going on. But this comes from the New York Post. If Bigfoot is out there, he better get out of Oklahoma. Just weeks after State Representative Justin Humphrey presented a bill to capture the mythological creature, the bounty, which originally was a paltry $25,000, has ballooned to $2.1 million. $2.1 million is the bounty on Bigfoot in Oklahoma. I'm proud to be an Okie no, that's not it. Quote, state tourism officials are now developing a Bigfoot promotional campaign that includes license plates, decals, an annual commemorative tracking license, and a Bigfoot checkout stations, according to a local CBS station. So really, it's a tourism push. They're trying to get tourists into Oklahoma by saying, "Hey, we got all this cool Bigfoot stuff." But if you can capture is the key word. Capture Bigfoot and bring him in alive. It doesn't give an address to where you got to bring him. But if you capture him and bring him in alive, the bounty is $2.1 million. Humphrey, who is the state representative, says his ultimate goal is to draw tourists by providing a safe and affordable fun. Unless, of course, Bigfoot puts up a fight. then it becomes less fun. Then you're like, oh, I'm fighting Sasquatch in Oklahoma. So come prepared, people. Come prepared. You know, there's going to be some legit people that try to take advantage of this, right? City mate feels bad for all the big hairy guys in Oklahoma, right? No kidding. They're like, hey, wait, what? Why are these people after me? Shave your back, dear. Karen says, I doubt Bigfoot would like the weather in Oklahoma. Probably not. Maybe it's seasonal, you know? Maybe there's only a certain time of year where they migrate. Perhaps there's some migratory patterns of Sasquatch, and Oklahoma. I don't know. I'm just making shit up as I go along. Like maybe not. It's weird. But you got to. As much as like all state tourism, and every state has suffered. You got to come up with some things to like draw people in. And I'm not sure what the status of Oklahoma is as far as like how open it is, but you got to do something. Like we need those tourist dollars that we normally get that we didn't get any of in 2020. I want to be in that room when it's like a roundtable discussion. A roundtable discussion of like, hey, we need to obviously up our tourism money, heads in beds, all the stuff. How do we do it? And they're sitting around the table and they're like, I have it. I have the idea. Bigfoot. Just by happenstance, let's say you do. Let's live in that world. You capture Bigfoot alive. Maybe a big tranquilizer dart or something. And you bring him in to like, I don't know, City Hall, the state capitol building. And you're like, I've captured the Bigfoot. How long is it before you get your check? Is it like a drop and go? They're like, oh, are they going to be like, oh, we weren't really being real about that. So sorry. But it's good to see that they're at least making an attempt to draw people in to Oklahoma. And get some live shows going down there in Oklahoma. Then we get the people back, just like Texas. George Ducas, who's going to join us here in just a bit. He has got some dates in Texas, and he's got some dates in Iowa, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to shoot him a text here, make sure he's good to go. This is the magic of liveness. We're like, hey, hold please. As you were. Ladies, discuss amongst yourselves. Just shot him a text. Like, bro, where you at? Start at 5. Maybe I said 5:10. I don't know. That's 5:10 now. What else is going on in the world? So many things. So we talk about things a lot on this show about technology and where it's going and where it's been. And there are things in the works. We talked about AI and we've talked about like next gen kind of virtual reality headsets. Well, Facebook's new smart glasses are supposedly going to have the ability to teleport you. Beam me up, Scotty? Like that? No? No, not like that. I mean, that'd be super cool, right? Put on the glasses. You're like, take me to Oklahoma. I'm going to go hunt some Bigfoot. No, not like that. This is according to the UK Sun, which comes from CEO Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, who said these smart glasses could make you feel like you're in the same room with someone, even if you are far apart. The billionaire made the comments to the information. He told the publication, rather than calling someone or having a video chat, you just kind of snap your fingers and teleport. And you're sitting there and they're on the couch and it feels like you're in the room together. All right. George is getting set. He's checking his mic, checking the camera. Good to go. So basically, you put these glasses on, and didn't Google try these? Google tried Google glasses where you could, or Google, what they Google? I think it was Google glasses. Google glasses. That's easy to say. Where you'd like put them on and they had a camera, and you could like take pictures, and then you could automatically post it. Like, hey, Google, post it to my Facebook page. Super weird. But supposedly these things will eventually replace things like your smartphone. So you'll just have these Facebook glasses on and like, hey, I want to talk to whoever, Cindy Mae in Iowa, who's without power currently. Put my Facebook glasses on. She's got her Facebook glasses on. Boom, we're in the same room. I mean, at least it appears that we are. Kind of creepy, right? But when he talks about it replacing your smartphone, all of a sudden, then you will just have this information that you would have on your phone. Like you just have to ask, I think. Like, hey, maybe you can name them. Hey, Facebook glasses. Show me places to visit in Oklahoma. Has anybody captured Bigfoot? And it just probably brings it up on in your peripheral. That's kind of weird. I don't know if we're close. We already have the phone. We already have all that kind of stuff. But pretty soon it's going to be, you're just running these glasses around. Everybody's got them. And nobody's going to pay attention to anybody else as you're walking down the street. You know what I mean? Sorry. getting George ready here. Right. But it's amazing how far technology is coming. We talked yesterday a little bit about the speed and rapid fire of which cell phones have developed, from the old flip phone to the razors to Blackberries, and the iPhone came out and revolutionized everything. And everybody was kind of going after that technology, and look how far that's come, even in a short period of time. Now this whole AI thing taking over. You don't want it to replace like personal experience, though, right? I know everybody who's watching here, obviously, George Ducas fans in the house, like you should be, you want to be able to go to a concert and not just like put your glasses on and then be at a fake concert, right? Like, cause that seems like it's weird. We're getting them ready. getting there. He's having trouble with the link, but we'll get him in here. Have no fear. But that's kind of like, that's the theory though with these Facebook glasses, that you if you can do that with a friend, if you can like put them on and then say, hey, I want to chat with my cousin Matt, and then all of a sudden you got you're in the same room with this person. Imagine if you could do that at a concert. I don't think anybody wants that kind of technology where you just put on these sophisticated super AI glasses and all of a sudden you're like, hey, boom, I'm at a concert, but I'm actually in my living room. Let's not take the technology that far. Okay. There he is. I see George Ducas is in the green room. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up his website here. Look at that. Look at this fancy, look at this man on his website right here. We'll go full screen. We'll scroll down, and what we're going to see, when we're seeing here, we're going to see some tour dates. We see some tour dates at georgeducas.com. We're going to talk to him about that, as the man, the myth, the legend is here and now.
How are you, Chris?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm trying to give you the boot, but I can't.
I got the boots, man. The boots to match.
What's that?
And he's got the boots to match.
That's right. That's right. Of course.
How are things going?
What's that?
How are things, my friend?
Things are good, man. Things are good. Golly, I feel like we're coming slowly out of this fog, but I hope it's not like, it's like there's a light at the end of the tunnel and you hope it's not an oncoming train, you know? I mean,
no, that's a really accurate way of describing it. You see the light and you're like, this is good. I hope.
Right? Yep. And then of course you got, people that, I mean, we're all just at our wits' end. We're all fed up with it. I get it. Nobody wants to wear their masks. And I get that, we want to get the economy up and rolling again, full steam. And I couldn't agree more. But then again, like, let's be wise. And let's hopefully we all get vaccinated pretty quickly here. And then even then, I mean, honestly, we don't know how long that's good for, but at least it's a start.
It's a weird game that we're playing. I don't want to call it a game and make light of it, but it's the rules change and nobody really knows. And it's like the CDC is changing things on a daily basis. You're like, so wait, now today, if I have it, then I can go and be with friends that have had it, but then I can also be with friends that didn't have it, but I can't. It's just like the mind is not meant to like live in a universe where the rules change all the time. It's just not meant to.
It is crazy, man. It's like, now they're like, okay, now if you've had the vaccine, you can go hug your grandmother if she's had the vaccine, but you still can't travel. And I'm like, what? What? You mean that's all I can do is to be with other people that have had the vaccine, like in a small setting? I mean, that's not really the end game here for us, I mean, and I have shows like you very, very kindly, hyped up my website. And I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. But I guess we'll kind of be masked up, even then, when we're not, when I'm not performing. But I mean, we're going to give it a go. Of course, several of those shows are in Texas, my home state. So they're open full swinging doors down there. So I don't know, man. I hope it goes well. I don't know what to expect, frankly. I mean, heck, we haven't played a show, and since I've known you, it's been 16 months, I think.
It has been. It's been when we last talked, our first conversation that we had.
It's crazy.
We were working on, releasing the record, and then you did in that super cool way, kind of little bits here, little bits there, and then like January hit, and we were kind of talking about ramping up for shows, and then festival season, and then the door's shut,
and then bam,
and we threw away the key, and here we are.
I know. But we're all in it together. I mean, honestly, everybody. Of course, I know we're not all affected the same, and people that can work from home, a lot of the white collar professions can kind of go on relatively unaffected, where a lot of people who work in the public, that are the face of our public, community, they have been very affected, of course. And so we're all in it together, but we're kind of not. in a way, just by virtue of the worlds we exist in professionally. And certainly the music industry is, one that's been hit really, really hard, but I'm not trying to cry over spilled milk or whatever, but we are all in it together, and hopefully we're coming out of it. I mean, I'm staying relatively positive and trying to be as busy and productive as I can be during this time. Like I've written 14 new tunes, working on a new record, in as much as I can. I mean, I'm going 4-hour Zoom calls with my producer, who I'm really excited to be working with for the first time. And we could talk more about that later, but that's been super productive and inspiring and creative and fantastic, and then these shows are fun too. Like I'm glad I have a handful of shows, not a whole bunch. It's going to be slow. The wheels are going to turn still pretty slow in 2021 for sure, but it's a start, and made a lot of changes sort of to the road stuff, the gear and everything. So I'm kind of excited to put that into use, and yeah, just get back out there and see some folks again, and play some of the music off of this album that came out a year ago now. So I'm excited. I mean, it's not Wisconsin yet, but hopefully I'll be out there, in your vicinity and direction relatively soon.
Here's what I think is not going to happen, but here's my visual of the fact that Texas is open as of today. I think today was the day, March 10th was the day they're like, 100%, obviously people can still use discretion, and there's some regulations and things like that. But I even just heard today, was it the Houston Astros where they play? I think they're going to open up at 100% capacity in their ballpark. But so here's what I think is going to happen. You're going to have Texas opened up. You have some dates in Texas coming up here next month. Is everybody else is going to watch and see what happens in Texas. They're going to watch and see how, with the mask mandate's been lifted. The businesses are able to open at 100% capacity. So I think everybody's like, even though there's some people that are like, Texas, where do you like? Everything's bigger in Texas. I mean, you're from Texas. You know how they roll.
I mean, I'm from Texas and California, so yeah, I've been on both coasts, man. I mean, I'm a drifter.
You're the ultimate between two of the most opposite places as far as things go.
I know. I think that's why I walk around so confused so much of the time.
You're just in a circle, like, I don't know which way to go today.
Wait.
Nope. Not that way.
So how about you, man? Enough about me. I don't want this to all be one way. What's going on in your world? What's it like?
It's
I'm so mad at myself. First of all, I wanted to get a bourbon before we launched into this, and then I didn't have time. Anyway, go on. I digress.
I understand.
What's happening with you in Cooperville?
This show, I started this show a month ago. It's been something, and you can understand this because you put a lot of creativity into the last year when you didn't have the opportunity to go out and tour after a record, which is kind of how things usually work. You put a record out and then you go and tour after it. And you kind of start getting the itch to do something when your creativity is kind of being not utilized, not maximized.
Yeah.
And, I was doing the podcast and, working out with the festivals, and, I was listening to, some morning radio stuff, and I don't have any ambition to get back in the radio, but I was like, it'd be super cool if I could just like talk to people all the time and bring fans in, bring listeners in, and just have like open form conversation and do it every day, and not have anybody else like kind of tell me how it's supposed to work. I can talk to George Ducas. I can talk to, former Navy SEALs. I can, just really have open conversations with humans, because I think functionally that's usually how that's how humans should communicate, is not on, 280 characters on Twitter. It should be like, here's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you're thinking. Let's have an open dialogue. So
right.
We kind of just said, all right, well, let's start this thing. Let's start this Cooperville Live thing. And I'm so happy doing this. I mean, being able to talk to you, being able to talk to all the, artists that have some longevity, who have been in the game for a long time, artists that are just getting started and are, and hearing your perspective on things, because you've done it the traditional way, and then you've adapted to doing it kind of, the new way of doing things as far as, how you work in the industry. So it's really cool to get to hear all these different, aspects and angles and watch people, that are on the come up, that are just getting started in the business. And I've had so much fun. I mean, I get up and I still do my thing. I'm a workoutaholic. So I get up and run and throw some weights around in the morning. Then I go to work. Then I come home and I have something to eat. And then we start the show. And then, 10 o'clock at night, I'm still like, okay, got to put some images together. Got to, contact
the next day.
It's just, it's never ending, but I love it. I love being able to have this platform, and we got tons of comments. The GD Nation, they're all here. They're all here.
I wish I could see it. Darn it.
Cindy May says, "Here's your bourbon." It's a bourbon. We got the emoji.
I can see it. Darn it. Thank you, Cindy. Cindy May, thank you. I need it. I wish I could just kind of grab it right now, right out of the screen, but unfortunately, virtual is virtual. But I appreciate the sentiment for sure. Darn it. I'm so mad at myself. I want to run upstairs and put it on pause, but I can't really do that here.
Hashtag Whiskey Wednesday from Karen Hurley says it's Whiskey Wednesday.
I like it. Karen. Hi, Cassie. There she is. See,
hey,
maybe we should both run out real quick to our bars and.
Here's what we'll do. I have a break video. I have a break video that's about 3 minutes long, or actually 4 minutes long.
Is it my video?
They would pull us down. I mean, even though it's weird, like even though it's your video, they would pull it down. They'd be like,
Yep.
George Ducas getting paid for this live stream.
Yep.
So I'll play the "We'll be right back" video. We'll go get a bourbon, and then we'll come back and
Are you gonna get one?
I'm gonna get one. If you're gonna get one.
Do you want me to play everybody a song while you go get a bourbon, and then I'll go get one, and then and you can entertain in some form or fashion?
Well, how about this? How about I'll play the video. We'll have a 4-minute break. You get a bourbon, I'll get a bourbon, and we'll come back, and then you can play a song, and magic will happen.
Play the video. Let's do it.
And everybody else who's in the comments, it's your turn as well to go take a break from your phone. Go get yourself a bourbon. It's Whiskey Wednesday with George Ducas and Cooper. So we'll be right back in 5 minutes. We're going to go get ourselves a beverage. So
less than five.
Here we go. And we're back.
Here we are. Cheers.
Look at this. Bam. And bourbon.
All right. Well, that was good. That was well executed.
You know, it's we're learning, and we're learning as the show goes.
Absolutely.
We had a bunch of comments. Cindy May says "men" as we took a break to go get a drink. You know, I get it.
She sounds like she knows.
Yeah, I'm like, fine. Stop the show right in the middle of it just to go get yourself a beverage, like because we didn't plan ahead.
Selfish jerks, man. I swear.
Oh man.
Well.
You know, so the Texas thing, I think, like I said, it's going to be under the microscope of like, okay, how are they executing it? What sort of safety precautions are in place? I know when I talked about the ballpark down there, they are going to require masks at the ballpark, but they're doing. I mean, it's 40,000 people inside of the ballpark.
Yeah, I didn't know they were opening it full tilt, and that's next month, right?
Yeah, I mean I think they're doing it starts with like 2 exhibition games back at home before the season opener, and those ones are the ones they announced to be full capacity, which is wild. And
I don't know that I agree, but I mean, I don't want to get. It's not a political thing. I mean, right. I just don't know that it's. I think it's a little premature. That's all.
I wonder if you're going to get. I mean, because I do think there's people that are really are fearful still of going out in public and stuff like that. So I wonder if you're going to be able to get 40,000 people that are like, yeah, I'll go.
I don't know. Down in Texas, maybe, but I mean,
that's a good point.
On that note, I'm kind of interested / slightly concerned perhaps that, hey, I don't know what the turnout's going to be on these shows that I go play. Particularly when it's not in Texas. Now there are quite a few that are, there's only a handful of shows, like 8 shows or something, April and May, but and most of them are in Texas, but there's several that aren't. I don't know what the crowd, you can't know that really. Like, I mean, what people, just because they say, hey, you're good to go. I mean, people do have different risk tolerances, like, I don't think I'd probably go to a game right now yet. Quite. I just probably wouldn't. Certainly not a baseball game. Now football.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Now let me play devil's advocate. Like I wouldn't necessarily like jump on going to a Brewers game, but Chargers playing. We may have to.
Suck it up. And then I wonder if people that do go, are they going to mask up or just say?
I think the ballpark, because the business has the mask mandate's lifted, but I think the business has they can make the rules within the confines of their business. I think they said at the ballpark masks will be required, but obviously you're not talking about any social distancing when you have, up to 40,000 people. I mean, there's very rarely do you get, a especially exhibition and or first game of the season, because they use, unless you're like the Yankees or Red Sox, your game is probably on like a Monday afternoon, So,
right.
It's tough to fill the ballpark during those hours anyway. I mean, obviously,
for sure, no doubt about it. Especially because if they're planning on, baseball season is a long season. There's a lot of games. It's not like football where there's 16 games, maybe 17 now, but 162 games. That's a lot. And so they're not packing it out. And however, I should say, these new stadiums are smaller.
Yeah.
they're not like 70,000 seat stadiums anymore. They're like boutique kind of vibe. So it's like
they're
35, 40,000.
They're close reading. I think the one they were talking about, I think Miller Park I know is like 30, 36, 37.
Mm-hmm.
But the one they were talking about, and I think it's where it was either the Rangers or the Astros. I can't remember what ballpark it was, but it was 40,500 is the max cap in the ballpark. And they were saying Governor Abbott says it's open, so we're going to open the whole thing up.
Right.
But again, I think but venues I think are going to be different, because I think you will have the fearful ones, but you will also have people that are so starved to see a live show that it's kind of like, all right, it's been a year. I think today marks 1 year since they officially named this a global pandemic. But I think people are like, at this point,
it's crazy.
I'm going to a show. I'm going to a show, and I'm going to have some beers, and I'm going to have fun, because I haven't been allowed to do so. I have not had. This was taken away from me. I haven't been allowed to do this in a year, and it's something I need to do. So
there's going to be a lot of that sentiment for sure. And you know, I mean, I can't argue. Rightfully so. You know, I mean, we all feel kind of gypped. Like, I want my year back. You know, everybody.
People want to know if they can take this off of their, like, since I turned, say I turned 40 in 2020, do I get that year back? Can I now be 39 again, or can I now be whatever?
Yeah. Can we defer death for a year?
Yeah. When it comes to the end, be like, excuse me, I believe I have one more year left on this contract.
Actually, I don't know if, some of us aren't going to want that. It's going to be like, you know what, man, just take me.
The last year,
I want to go down just in a ball of fire.
The last year, if it's because of old age, the last year usually isn't the best one.
Yeah, no doubt. So, like, I hope I go out and, like, in a well, I shouldn't even say this, but just a huge, we'll say, party. Yeah. Yes,
a large gathering of, and then the asteroid comes and we're all gone.
Yeah.
One fell swoop like that.
Something like that, or at least I mean, I'd rather go in a huge, just go out on top, But let's not talk about that.
No. What's
how morbid.
Well, it depends on how big the party is,
Yeah.
If you're going to go with a smile, right?
Definitely.
But you got to be excited to have shows on the books. I mean, that's got to be, at least dipping your toe out there for a handful of dates in Texas and Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
At least having that has to be a relief.
It is. I'm thrilled. I cannot wait. There's a lot of moving parts, and when you haven't done it in a while, it's like you forget. There's just so many details, and yeah, some other guys kind of helped me with handling some of that, but it's still your show, and like I just feel like you gotta check on everything. Like, hey man, how are we covering this? Or got a couple new guys in the band. Like, hey, we got to go over some of these finer points. Like, I know they're gonna know the songs, but knowing the songs, knowing the show, two separate things. And then gonna have some new, like I said, some new gear out there with us that we haven't really used before, so that I'm excited about. I mean, it's definitely an upgrade, but just trying to kind of do all that at the same time that you're just starting to get the wheels rolling again. It's interesting, but it's a challenge and it's fun, frustrating some days. And this is all in the midst of having written these new songs and going in, pre-production with my producer that I mentioned. His name's Pete Anderson. He's a legendary, certainly, in my mind, and anyone who really knows country music, or even he crosses genres. I mean, the guy's he's worked with everybody from Buck Owens and Roy Orbison, to name a few, to all the early Dwight Yoakam records. Played guitar, all that stuff. Pretty fascinating. So in the midst of, can you hear me? You look confused.
Yeah, I can hear. I had a comment pop up here on the screen, and I was like, I forgot to get that one off of there. It's Cindy May's men comment, so maybe it's appropriate that it stays up.
Oh yeah, it's still up there. I see it too. So yeah, it's just dealing with a lot of different things while trying to get the road show kind of up and going again. So it's been every day's like full on, it's crazy, but it's fun. It's fun.
Are you going to get much time to do rehearsal? I mean, is there like rehearsal time to get ready to get back out with the whole band and the crew and everything, or is it just caution to the wind when you get to Texas?
I mean, I say crew, it's a pretty light crew. It's a couple guys, and they kind of know what they're doing on the tech end. So, but no, as far as like a rehearsal, like all of us in person, nah, it's not good. First of all, my drummer's in San Antonio. The other guys are here in Nashville. So I think what I'm probably going to do is my drummer's been with me for years, so he knows what he's doing. And I think I'm just going to maybe do like a Zoom call with those guys and just go over the song that way. Probably that's probably what it's going to boil down to. Maybe an in person, but I don't even know if it's necessary. We as musicians are pretty diligent with that stuff, doing our homework. So I mean, we won't be like, if we do it, when we do it, however we do it, it won't be like we're just learning the songs now. They'll already know them. We're just going to be discussing finer points,
Yeah.
So
it's not like there's not a lack of time. It's not like, I'm doing all these shows and I have all this other stuff going on. I mean, you obviously keep yourself incredibly busy, but it's like I have some time to prepare for these this handful of shows.
Yeah, we still got a month plus, so they have time and I have time. So I'm really, really excited about, it's more like the logistics stuff that you haven't done in so long. I mean, you've been home for, 50, it's like everybody can relate to this. When you haven't traveled for a while or flown, let's say, on an airplane, everything's like sensory overload and all the details like, oh God, park the car and got to get to the shuttle bus and then get to the airport and then, and then check in and the check-in process and the getting through security, all these little things. Seems like obstacles, like just like it's so much like sensory overload. But when you do it like, throughout the course of your normal day and you're traveling a lot and you're kind of on automatic. I mean, it's not a big deal, but when you've been doing nothing but being at home, busy or not, for 15, 16 months, man, it's like, okay, how are we going to, we got to get hotels and are we going to fly there or we're going to like, I don't know, man. It's just like crazy to think about all these like destinations and the journey and it's fun. It's fun to think about. And then it's also like, I got to pack.
Like you got to remember like the things that you like, it would be really unfortunate to forget to like pack another set of clothes. I got, 4 days. I just have the same outfit, just rocking the same clothes. Cause that's the one thing I forgot to do or book the hotel room. Yeah. You end up sleeping at some shady place outside of the venue. And you're like,
we're going to be in shady places.
That's where good songs get written.
That's right. It goes without saying. But yeah, you could forget, I don't know, I forgot this guitar or I forgot, I mean, I don't know. It's just just seems like a lot. So it's like a checklist, mental checklist, but it's fun. It's fun that we're able to think about and sort of plan for getting back to some semblance of life again, and I think everyone's kind of doing that in their own way. Yeah. I'm sure you are too, and you have young kids, right? Am I correct? Right. You're a young boy. And so is he in school these days or
he's 100% virtual. So he's home all the time.
Hey, let's take a poll. Let's take a poll with those listening. If there are enough of them to get a poll.
There's a group. A lot of they're chatting amongst themselves currently.
Oh, are they? Can you see it?
Yeah, they're saying hi to each other. And
good.
May says we're not ready. We were talking about going out at the end of the world party. Karen Hurley says Pete Anderson is a legend.
Yep, he is. Now they're rolling in. I think we should take a poll. Everybody, Yellow Rose Motels. That's where all the That's the name of the last album for those who don't know.
Yep.
So I think we should take a poll, like the date that everybody thinks life is going to just sort of, I know Fauci says you can't just flip a switch and go back to normal, but like, if you could, what would be the approximate date, put a number on it, a month and a day, that things go back to normal in the United States? and the world.
That's tough, man. That's a
Yeah.
wait. Wasn't it? Let's see. It started off as 15 days to flatten the curve, so we are now at we're at more than that.
100? Wait, no. What are we at?
We're about 365, I believe now.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's right. That's right. Yeah. So 365 days to flatten the curve, and it's still not flat. Nancy says May 1. That's a pretty good guess. Let's go. Keep them coming, y'all. What do y'all think?
The dates that the world and the United States are going to open back up. Mary Nelson's on here. July 4th.
Oh.
Independence Day. See? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
We got
Mary. That's a pretty good. Oh my gosh, Cindy May with August 11th.
2022.
Why that? Why?
Wow.
Can you ask her? Well, I guess we can both ask.
Yeah.
Why August 11th, 2022? You're just coming up with that just randomly?
I hope she does. I hope she doesn't have like inside information somewhere where she's like, actually, according to the documents, that's the day. Because then we, yeah. Flip the calendar year over.
Cindy May, do you know something that none of us do?
Yeah. Do you have some info that we all need that you can share with the group? Because we're
an awfully pessimistic prediction. Do you have anything to say for yourself there? Karen is ready right now.
Right now. Today's the day, Karen. It's
your birthday. Why 2022?
Yeah, can we
You got a birthday in 2021. What about that?
More coming in Labor Day weekend.
Leanne. Hi, Leanne. We haven't said hello to you yet.
Leanne, thank you for tuning in. Maybe it was a type, maybe it was a mistype, like 2021, because that's
I
hope so.
Fill us in, Cindy May. Why aren't you coming back? Yes, it's your birthday. You have one of those in 2021 too. Also,
we don't need to wait till 2022.
Yeah.
Unless you're using this year as your skip a year from 2020, you're just gonna skip this year's birthday and go right to next year.
Then you're skipping 2 years.
She doesn't know. She's got the. I don't know.
Okay, she's just throwing it out there. All right. Well, anyway, what do we want to discuss here?
I don't know, man. I'm sure you got an instrument around. You want to play a song? You want to? I mean, we got bourbon. We need some music.
Are people doing that on your show, or what?
Yeah, I've had a couple people that have busted it out. I can control your volume and stuff over here. I mean, sounds as good as any live stream.
Yeah. Sure, man. I think that would be fun.
We got a Memorial Day weekend in here.
That's who said that?
Leanne changed it from Labor Day to Memorial Day. So she jumped about 4 months, which is good. Jumped in the right direction, closer to now than the end of summer. That's going to be the toughest part because, you guys have had, I've seen some of my other Nashville friends posting, you've had some nice temperatures down there. It's been warm. You got that spring feel in the air. It's going to be tough to keep people trapped up when it's
definitely going to get difficult. It's definitely going to get difficult. Man, if I was a little more well rehearsed on these new tunes, I would play you one of the new ones that I think will be going on the record, but I'm just a little bit hesitant.
No, it's all good, man.
But that would be fun. I don't know. Maybe we should ask people what they want to hear if I'm going to play.
We got people in the chat. Yeah. What song should we have George Ducas play here?
Guys got any preferences? I can't really see.
Cindy May still clarifying.
She's still. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay. So I think I get what she's saying. She's saying totally back to normal.
Let it go. Okay. Yeah.
Everything is like COVID is just it's in the rearview mirror. Like everything is. There's no restrictions. There's nothing. See, I could see that philosophy is like, okay, things open up here, and then, but 2022 is like, I don't know. It's still kind of scary to think about.
It was just a bad, distant dream.
We got to vote for Eastwood.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got somebody calling you a tease. Just do it. just play a song.
Oh my gosh.
There's a new song.
New song?
They're throwing you under. They're throwing you out there, George.
They are. You guys are throwing me to the wolves.
Here we go.
Not
Norman,
very nice.
Arkansas. Yeah, right now. Okay, let's see. We got Lila says lipstick promises or don't leave her lonely.
Oh,
Nikki Joe, lipstick promises.
okay.
Yeah.
Any others there?
Nothing coming up so far. I think they're just anticipating. They're waiting.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we got one for breaking stuff.
Oh, I like that idea. All right. Well, I'd love to play a new one, but I'm not sure. Not sure I got them down quite yet.
It's all good, man.
So I want to kill.
Party with your boots on.
Who said that?
Leanne.
Oh, Leanne. Okay. Well, heck, they're all good choices, guys. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna go with breaking stuff. How about that?
There we go. George Ducas.
I made a promise to my mama I knew I couldn't keep. Broke my right arm falling out of that tree. Got caught smoking smokes back in high school. Never was much good at following the rules. Found a girl, fell in love. She broke my heart. For the next few years, tearing the rest of me apart. Running from the pain, lying myself and acting tough. Breaking stuff. Never been good at being good, but I get wrong just right. It's just the way it is, it's just the way I am, it's just the way I live my life. As soon as I stumble over something good, I go and mess things up. Yes, I'm good at breaking stuff. She was the closest thing to perfect that I'll ever find. Same old cliche, my heart will hear the time. She made it so easy for me to just love her. I made it so easy for her to find another. Just being myself, doing what the real me does. Breaking stuff. Never been good at being good, but I get wrong just right. It's just the way it is, it's just the way I am, it's just the way I live my life. As soon as I stumble on something good, I go and mess things up. Yes, I'm good at breaking stuff. Never been good at being good, but I get wrong just right. Just the way it is, it's just the way I am, it's just the way I live my life. As soon as I stumble good. I'm going to mess things up. Yes, I'm good. Yes, I'm good. Yes, I'm good. Breaking stuff. Hey! Yes, I'm good. Breaking stuff. Good at breaking stuff.
Big finish, George Ducas. Breaking stuff. Look at that, making people happy. Oh, the comments are flowing in. We got clap hands from Mary.
Mary, it's good to see you.
Karen, great to hear you sing live again.
It has been a couple months, hasn't it? It's been. We were doing a lot of live streams. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate it. We were doing a whole lot of live streams before the holidays, and then things just got real busy. Cassie, I'm ready to go to a show too. Things just got really busy with the new record, and things got busy just with, gosh, all kinds of stuff, trying to get this road stuff going again. So, the live streams kind of fell by the wayside a little bit here these last couple months.
Well, I think people will understand when you're talking about putting, getting prepared to put back into the live show. It's challenging to put on the live stream stuff. It's not as simple as it comes across, but because you make it look easy. But to put together the live show and then, oh yeah, by the way, write 14 new songs for a new record. Yeah, people understand. They're still coming.
Oh, yeah. Well, I also feel it kind of like people kind of got a little burnt out of the live stream thing. Like, I think it was a great thing to do. Don't get me wrong, and I really enjoyed it. But there was a lot of it going on as we went through the year, through the pandemic, the lockdowns and stuff. And it was really novel at first. And then it just kind of was like, oh my gosh, it was like Netflix every night. You had your choice of live streams to go to, and all of a sudden it wasn't that big a deal. Yeah. And so it kind of pulled back from that after the holidays a little bit. Not to say I wouldn't like to do it. I would, just kind of combination of all those factors,
Yeah, I think it's tough to find a balance in that. You talked about there was a lot of artists doing live stream stuff. So to try to make it special for your fans, obviously, they want to see you regardless. They would probably tune in anytime that you jumped on there to do it. But I understand, like, over the course of time, you're like,
they're fans of they're fans of other artists. It's like, we all have more than one artist that we really dig, right. So sometimes it's like, oh man, I got two or three things to choose from tonight. Like TV shows, like, am I going to watch Blacklist or am I going to watch Sneaky Pete? And it's a tough choice. You got to record one or watch one later, and it's sort of real. It kind of became like that a little bit, and that's cool. That's okay to do.
Yeah, I've run out of things to watch on Netflix. I'm a documentary guy, so I like to watch documentaries. And I started, all of a sudden, I'm like 5 years back. I'm like, well, this alien research isn't even relevant anymore. They discovered so many more aliens than this 2015 documentary. But you run things on Netflix. It's the same thing. You go like, oh, they're doing another live stream. Like, okay.
Oh yeah, exactly. Man, there's so many good shows. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Right now, I mentioned Sneaky Pete, but have you guys seen that? That's a great. Holy smokes! It's not on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime, which I don't know if you have that or do that.
Yeah,
but
it was. We just started watching, which is also another old show, but Man in the High Castle, which I think came out like in 2016 or it started in 2015. But again, this is the blessing and the curse of the pandemic. Is you're like, what's this about? Then you watch trailer after trailer after trailer, and then you finally find a show. You're like, this is interesting. So we just got into Man in the High Castle, but I haven't heard of Stinky Pete yet.
I hadn't either. And actually, Leo, my drummer, recommended it to me. And man, it's crazy. It never stops. Like the it's like the choices of who to root for, and all these people are just flawed, like you wouldn't believe. And it's like you're still kind of rooting for them, though. Like it's like you find yourself rooting for the bad guys.
No, yeah, been there.
And, well, kind of like in Breaking Bad.
Mm.
Did you see that show?
Yeah, watched Breaking Bad.
So it's kind of like that. You're rooting for those guys.
Yeah, you want Walter White to
yeah. Well, Walter White's in Sneaky Pete as well.
Yes.
Yeah, in a somewhat reduced role. He's in the first season.
See, I feel like I need a show at the end of, because I told you kind of about how the day goes. I mean, it's 4:30, 5 o'clock, exercise, work, show, and then after post show stuff. Like I need something at the end of the day that I literally do not need any brain cells to, like, I just need to numb out. Like we end up downloading Pluto. There's a Pluto app on smart TVs, and it's like all like really old but not really good movies. It's like I'm like, I've never heard of these. There was some Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that he was like somebody cloned him, and I'm like, this seems like I don't need to do much thinking.
Exactly.
I'm gonna watch this and just tap out for the day. So
exactly
like that.
How about Your Honor? Have you seen Your Honor?
I haven't. Leanne watches Yellowstone and Longmire.
Yeah, those are kind of Western themed, and I have not watched either one of those yet. I've had quite a few people. Pluto is awesome. Haven't watched that either.
Pluto is that's the it's like a free TV app, and it's got like there's like channels that it's like just old TV shows, and then there's some that are like really old movies, and not old, but like the.
So it's kind of like what you're talking about to watch.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, Pluto. Just you find weird the strangest things on there. Like who wants to watch unsolved mysteries like from the first one till now? It's all.
Yeah. Well, you should check out Sneaky Pete and check out Your Honor.
I'll write that down. So I got my marker.
And Walter White's in both of them. He's a central role in Your Honor. He's a Louisiana judge, who's trying to keep his son from getting killed by the mob after his son accidentally kills the mob leader's son accidentally in a car accident. The rest of it just gets
just goes off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, and he's a judge, so you can see how he's grappling.
Yeah, it's a tough balance. So we got people coming in here. We got White Lines. Cindy May watches White Lines. Karen's watching there's a new Walker Texas Ranger. How about that?
I didn't watch the old one.
Yeah.
Leanne agrees.
I'm still watching The Bachelor. Mary, come on now.
Oh, Mary, please, come on.
It's got to be something else, isn't there? Oh,
Pascal's joined us. She's in Canada. Hello, hey. Pascal.
Hey.
We
talk the same way here in Wisconsin. They say we.
You love Jared, eh?
Hey.
You know what today is? You know what today is?
Wednesday, March 10th.
It's my boy's birthday.
No,
not my son.
Your which boy? Oh, is it
my quarterback?
Your quarterback, Justin Herbert. Happy birthday!
The NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year.
How soon I have forgotten.
Yeah, you have. I'm here to remind you, though.
No, sometimes I get lost in that whole MVP thing, and it's just I forget that we all start somewhere. And
I don't know if your MVP started here, but yeah, he had a phenomenal.
He didn't win Rookie of the Year, no, because he was.
What I'm saying. I don't think he started here, but yes, your guy had a great, amazing year for sure. But so did mine. I'm freaking fired up. I've never been as fired up about a 7-9 team in my life. This kid's crazy good.
That's, as you know, I mean, that's people try to they don't discount the quarterback but there's defense wins championships, and they give all the examples like Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Like, okay, let's back up. Let's not go quite that far. But
so did that Ravens guy, Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco won a Super. Where is he now? I don't know. Was he in Denver? He's somewhere? He's not in Baltimore anymore.
He was in Denver, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the nucleus. And I think if you see that young talent, especially when you have him on a rookie deal, because then you have money to actually get talent around him before he gets
around him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now's the time, man. It's going to be a sweet next few years, I think, for us.
And you know what? He should be thankful that Dak Prescott just got the largest quarterback contract, because that's where the bar is set now. He's like, I'm going to cash in a couple of years. So get the team around him while you still can.
Exactly. No question about it. Yeah, we got him. I mean, that's cheap. That's cheap.
Rookie deals, man.
Winning money. I'm excited about it, man. I can't wait. Now, that is one thing I am freaking, when it's fall and we've all gotten the vaccine up and rolling, and, you know, we've got 60% of this country that's had the vaccine. I am going to those games.
Right.
Flat out.
Yeah.
No.
The NFL has already said, I mean, when it comes to the regular season, there's going to be fans in the stands. You know, we're not doing this. Now, obviously there could be some asteroid that hits the earth, which we don't want to see happen, but
yeah,
they're setting it now and saying when the season comes around, fans prepare, because fans need to prepare for, especially season ticket holders, things like that. So
of which I am one. So
see,
even though my team's in Los Angeles, I'm going to be out there. I'm going
to remember how to get on an airplane and go see some football.
I'll have it figured out by then. I got these 8 shows.
This is just a warm up to get you out to California for football season, man.
Just a warm up for football season.
Awesome. Hey, George, we got to wrap things up. I got another guest coming on here in about 5 minutes, but I do want to say thank you for the hour. I know we were worried last night. I was texting you and you're like, I don't know if I have an hour worth of gab. I'm like, we'll fill the hour, dude. Don't leave it 3 minutes to get drinks. And we filled
you and I have no trouble. I know. I should have known that. I should have known.
We got this nailed down, but I'm so happy that you're getting back out on the road, and I know that you are too. I know that's.
Thank you, brother.
I want to be a fly on the wall when you're standing on the side stage waiting to go on that first show back in Texas. And okay, is it going to be butterflies?
When I'm on the side stage waiting to go on, there's probably going to be flies on the wall. To be honest with you.
Geez, wish they would have cleaned in here a little bit before we.
It's an outdoor stage. It's an outdoor. The first show is outdoors, so
that'd be perfect, man.
So good for COVID, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, you got plenty of room to roam, man.
Right. Exactly. Listen, we'll make sure to get you some video of that, just for giggles.
Please do. just be right before you go on. Be like, hey, look, I found. Is that you? Is that you? One of these flies? Is that you?
Oh, yeah, we got to make sure. We'll make sure to get some footage of that stuff. You know,
no,
in general, just like life on the road, first time out, post pandemic. You know. But anyway, thank you. Yes, thank you for having me, man. Again, I consider you a friend. Beyond all this internet / online stuff, I can't wait till the day that we're able to actually hang out and share a drink together across the table, spend some time together.
Looking forward to it. Super happy for you, man. And you got 14 new songs that you've written during all this. I mean, that's exciting too. But first we'll get you out to play the ones from the last record that you haven't had a chance to go and play, and then we can get that 14 onto a record and get you back out and playing again. But I can't wait to see you, man. I can't wait to see you.
I want to come to Wisconsin, man, and we got to talk about strategize on ways to make it out to Country Fest, or that I'm looking at that shirt you're wearing. Or
not even a shameless plug. I'm just wearing it.
That's just one option, just in whatever way, shape, or form or fashion. I want to see you in Wisconsin real soon.
Yeah, we'll make it happen, George. Take care of yourself. My best to the family, and happy birthday to Justin Herbert. We'll leave with that. All right, take care of yourself, my friend.
All right, take care, brother.
George Ducas hanging out with us for the last hour, and great to catch up with George. I'm just to see that he's going to do some shows. I know how much that means to not just him, but to his fans. And thank you to the George Ducas fans who were so gracious in the comments here, and appreciate all of you for jumping on the stream and being a part of today's program. It's been fun. It's always fun. This is my favorite part about doing this show, is having a chance to talk to old friends like George, and to talk to new friends, because I love meeting new people. And I love the fact that we have this thing called Instagram that is doing a fantastic job of again, like I said in the open, it feels like it's super self-serving. Like the algorithm is finally giving me the things that I want, and that's like super awesome music. And I just scroll through and I listen, and then I stop and I hear Katie Joe singing, and I'm like, what? What's this? The sound, I mean, it mind blown. And she's in the green room, and we're going to bring her into the show. Katie Joe is here. Hello, darling.
Hi, how are you?
I am super excited to talk to you about all the things you have going on. We got a new record. You got the new music video that came out last month, and just so many things. I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it's funny you were mentioning Instagram. It's just like so easy to get connected to people now. So I'm glad that it, led you to finding my music. And yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to chat.
I think it is one of those discovering new music has so many different outlets now. It's the traditional ways of finding music through terrestrial radio. I mean, there's still some avenues there. I spent 20 years doing it myself, but I think the interwebs and places like social media, like Instagram, when you can just start scrolling through and you see what your friends are doing and you see what the people you follow are doing, all of a sudden this, 30-second clip of you singing comes on, and I was like, what? Whoa, wait a minute, what is happening here? Like, and that leads you into obviously jumping in and reading more about you and the album coming out and watching the music video. And I was just blown away by your sound. And like, it feels like it's so true to you from what I've been reading about you, and that you're doing music that you want to do, and there's nobody pressuring you to do anything else.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still, an independent artist, and it's my first time I've really put out a body of work, and doing it, trying to figure out how to do that during COVID is really been a unique challenge. Usually there's all these sort of avenues you would be touring and, getting in front of fans that way, and kind of slowly building, a grassroots fan base. And that was kind of my plan last year, was to do that around this album. So it's really validating to hear that people are still finding the music somehow, because it feels like I'm just like uploading this music to the internet and then like, posting things online in my home office. Like, it's so removed from like how you would normally, normally release an album. So yeah, it really means a lot that, when someone comes across it, that they're still moved by the music in a similar fashion.
I think it really brings it, I don't want to say closer, because there's a unique connection when you talk about seeing somebody live.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really compare to, but when you don't have that option, when that is currently off the table in a lot of places, to be able to just hear something unique that's not force fed, that is just really truly raw and genuine, like you create this relationship with that artist because you feel like you're in on the ground floor, right? Like you're there before everybody else was there. It's like that first, the people say like bands sell out, or when artists sell out. You're like, I was there when the first EP came out, and now you're selling, millions of albums. But this connection has to be, it's truly unique because of the circumstances, but because you're also able to connect with fans on a different level, but still connect with them through social media.
Yeah, and I've been really pleasantly surprised by how many meaningful conversations I've had. And I think it's easier. I mean, you can obviously reach just like a broader number of people versus the 20 or 50 or however many people would happen to be free to come to a show in whatever town you're touring on a particular night. So, even in my own immediate circle, it's like, it's been nice to have conversations with people about the music who normally might be too busy or distracted or wouldn't really like know much about this kind of music. And that's kind of my whole goal with this record, is to reach people that don't think that they like country music, but can, connect with these songs and this style of music in a certain way. Top 40 radio is like its own beast. So it's nice to like have people say, oh, I didn't know that I liked country music, or I like Patsy Cline, but that was 50 or 60 years ago. What is new that still has that vibe, but is, bringing a kind of modern perspective to it. So, it's nice to like connect with people kind of beyond people I already know who listen to country music or sort of enmesh in that lifestyle and that scene.
You mentioned Patsy Cline in there, and I know there was a playlist I think you got added to that had Loretta Lynn on it.
Yeah.
It sparks me into the artists that inspired you, because your sound is very unique, and it has this old soul, but it's still got a fresh. I'm not sure if I have words to describe it, because it's got a fresh new sound, but yet it's rooted in this really old, you know, like meaningful music. So who did you say that are the artists that influenced you, to actually pursue this as a career?
Yeah, I mean, all the classics. Like, I love Loretta Lynn, not just for her sound and that sort of timeless quality, but she was just really a pioneer in terms of the things she sung about, and she made no bones about her perspective in her song. And I really like that attitude, and definitely try and bring that to my music. Wanda Jackson also kind of in a similar vein. And some of the songs on the record are a little more upbeat. They're not quite as rockabilly as her, but just her whole like ethos and vibe I really like to emulate. More modern artists, I definitely, being out here in California, like Dwight Yoakam is a huge influence on me. And I think the way that he started his career in particular is really appealing to me, because he played in Los Angeles a lot, but at the time there was no, like, people are like, why are you playing country music? And I think there's still that attitude, like, what do you mean? Like, why, how are you playing this style of music? Like, in LA, which is known for almost every other style of music. But he played with he would play at like punk clubs, and he found a way to, again, connect with people that was outside of the normal system or paths. And I really kind of took that story to heart, and I just love his music as well. Like, I like that he combines elements of bluegrass, honky tonk, that Bakersfield sound. He has a whole mix. So while my music, I don't think sounds like much exact, it's not an exact replica of what he does. Like, that mix of sounds is something that I, tried to find for myself. And then in a way more modern sense, like artists like Charlie Crockett, I really like, and same sort of thing. He's able to kind of capture that vintage vibe without it sounding too on the nose.
Yeah. I love the Dwight reference, because I'm a huge Dwight fan, and it was following him on social media as well, but also following his career, from early on, and just like realizing he just posted a video. It escapes me what song it was. I forgot how like Elvis hip dancing he was like early on. There was like he was, that guitar was in so many different weird positions, and he was still just going after it, and it's just amazing that in his career that is spanned so long, and now he's doing his show, and he's got guys like Post Malone on, like, singing his songs back to him, and I'm like,
I know
he did something very, very smart for a very long time. So that's a very great person to to take inspiration from, because he doesn't get, and I posted things about this before. Usually I have like a glass of bourbon, and I'm like, what the world needs more of? Dwight Yoakam. And I just go off on a binge of Dwight listening.
Yeah.
But he is I don't think he's ever gotten the real recognition that he deserves as a pioneer in music, because of all the things that you mentioned, all the different elements of things that all into one ball, and then it danced around like like Elvis did. So what a great influence, and what a great person to emulate, because like California sound. But you're originally from Kansas, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Wichita, so I still have ties there. That's where we filmed the music video, and obviously country music is much bigger out there, at least in a traditional sense. So my parents still live there, so I go back and forth quite a bit, and just really kind of still consider that my home in a lot of ways. But I've been out in California for about 10 years now.
Yeah, and how cool to film the music video at a roller rink, and just the whole vibe of the video for I Don't Know Where Your Heart's Been is, I loved every part of it, to the way it was filmed, to the story behind it, to the song itself is like, girl, I don't know what you went through, but I felt like I am so sorry, and that's the one. That's okay, not the one. It's one of many things that I feel is missing from a lot of country music right now is the fact that you hear a song and you go, whoa, like I love it, but I want to hear the story behind what this girl went through when she wrote this song, because you can feel it. And then I think the video, it lightens it a little bit, but that it's a really true like gravitational pull song. And I mean, congratulations on that. And to shoot it in a roller rink, I mean, how cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, that was it's so funny because I think I've told this story before, but when we were recording that song, and the song is based on like something that happened in my adult life, which is going through infidelity with a partner and just being kind of rocked by that. And it's, it just makes you feel very foolish when that happens. And, but certainly I think when you're an adult, you're in relationships or just a situation with someone and their mind is somewhere else. And you can tell like, this is going to end very soon, but neither one of us wants to acknowledge that that's what's happening. So sort of an amalgamation of experiencing that over time. But when we were recording the song, I was in the vocal booth, like thinking about, I was just trying to get into that headspace of like how I wanted to sing these lyrics. And I just started thinking like, okay, when was the first time in my whole life that I felt that feeling? And I just had this flashback to being in that same roller rink as like a preteen and, it being dark and really hazy. And the person that I was interested in, like, skating away with some other person. Like that is like when you're so young and you don't know how to like deal with those feelings, it's soul crushing. And so I started like pretty much like all the images you see in the video, like in that moment were like flashing into my head. And I just knew I had to see this idea through as a video. And I had never filmed a music video before, let alone one that has like a whole plot and like a cast of characters in it. So it was like working backwards from this big grand idea to like executing it, which was definitely a huge project. So yeah, we filmed it. I was like, it has to be at my hometown roller rink. I basically just have to recreate this childhood scene I went through.
Bringing it all back.
Yeah, but it's been so like funny to me because when I told people about this, again, they were kind of like, okay, like that's like no one quite got it until the video came out. And since then, like multiple people have reached out to me and said, oh my gosh, like that also happened to me, like at a roller rink or like at a bowling alley, at a child's party. Like everyone remembers their first heartbreak or their first crush that didn't pan out. And so I really just wanted to sort of capture that universal feeling, but make it a little more lighthearted than the typical, I got cheated on as an adult. Now I'm very jaded,
Right.
even though that's where the song came from. But yeah, so it was really fun. And we got to film that video like, I'm not kidding you, that we scheduled it when obviously we didn't know this was going to happen at the time, but like 2 weeks before the initial, everything shut down because of COVID last March. So feel really just fortunate that I was able to kind of fit that in right before, these kind of large scale collaborations weren't possible.
Yeah. I mean, is it tough for you to, because I mean, that's, it's been over a year now.
Yeah.
Since I think today is officially today was the official day 1 year ago when they announced this as a global pandemic. Obviously the lockdowns happened within like a week or two from now, but to have to, to film, obviously write the song and then have the freaking brilliant idea for the roller skating rink. I think that's just, I love it. And I'm having a flashback to roller skating rinks and it's like, why was it always smoky in there? Like, I don't know. Like, this is where children hang out, people.
Yeah. Low visibility and skates is like a bad combo.
Yes. And preteens and teens. This seems like a really good idea. This is, and parents just drop you off like, bye, we'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, sure. I'll make good choices. I'm 13.
Right. I'm going to be making out with someone in the back.
No, you can't see it, so you'll never know.
Right.
But to sit on that for, because the video was released, I believe, early February.
Yeah.
The video came out, but to sit on that, is that tough to have to go through a year, and obviously a year that's especially out in California. My mom lives up in the northern part of the state, so I kind of have a bead on what mostly can'ts and some can do's. It's got to be
Yeah.
tough to sit on that for close to a year.
Yeah, it was hard because I was so invested right when everything shut down. You know, I had invested in making this video. I was starting to like figure out how to tour, and like I was just like kind of ready to jump feet first into figuring out how to be a full-time musician, and was, you know, gearing up to kind of release the album and all of that. And then the paradigm just totally shifted. So it was definitely confusing. And I just had to kind of put music down for like 6 months to kind of recalibrate and figure out what to do. I mean, it was hard, and it wasn't because everyone was in the same position. So in one sense, it was difficult because as a new artist, you're like, well, I didn't get a chance to really tour. I haven't put out new music, so I don't have a fan base to kind of keep me going or continue. You know, there's not a lot of groundwork that has been laid in a public way. But at the same time, like at least my like livelihood wasn't dependent on that. So at a personal level, it was a little easier because yeah, like my music world kind of got rocked like everybody, but it didn't destroy everything, you know, in my life, which I'm very, very grateful for. But I feel like it's the right time to be putting it out now. You know, I just kind of realized this is going to go on for a while. The normal, like who even knows what the music industry is going to look like in a year? I didn't want to wait any longer. And so, yeah, it was definitely hard to sit on that, but I knew, you know, I had invested the time and energy into doing a video like that and all the other media around the album. And so many other people had put their time and effort in as well that I wanted to respect that and say, I need to release this in a way where other people will see it. You know, I don't want to just put it out and then nothing comes of it. Then all these people invested, you know, in my music and didn't get it sort of the right start that it could. So it was hard, but I think it was worth the wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten great reviews, great. I mean, the views are up on it. I mean, it's, again, if you haven't seen the video for I Don't Know Where Your Heart's Been, we'll share the link, I think, in the comments. We can do that once we get through the show here. But the album drops on April 9th, so we're a month and some change away, less than a month away.
Yeah.
A month. Pawn Shop Queen. I love the title. I love the cover art. I love everything about it. Tell me about putting the record together, 9 songs, and tell me about getting this. Again, I'm sure as you've been sitting on this, the video, I'm sure you've been sitting on some songs as well, but it's got to be exciting to be this close to actually getting it out into the public's ears. Yeah,
it's really surreal because we started the recording process back in 2018. So it's been almost like 2.5 years since we've kind of started. And obviously, you know, some of the songs are older than that. So yeah, it's really odd to be putting it out this way for, you know, having waited so long. But, you know, as an artist, you go through your own emotional journey with the songs as you write them and then as you record them and then thinking about them as an entire project. So definitely you know, I had to kind of gear myself up to do that and then continue with the confidence in yourself to like put it out and say, this is the first representation of me as a person and an artist. You know, it's pretty a vulnerable thing to do. So I didn't really mind waiting, but I'm definitely really excited for these songs to be out, and then excited, you know, to kind of close that chapter and then move on to you know, the next batch of songs.
Yeah, have you had much time? I mean, it's weird to have all this obviously sitting for 2.5 years, and then, you know, the new album's coming out, but you've obviously had some time during the last year. Have you been putting pen to paper? Is there more songs that you've been working on? Obviously, you're a fabulous songwriter. Has that been continuing throughout this whole pandemic?
Yeah, I've definitely been writing and kind of have an idea of what I want the next record to look like. And, you know, for me, I get a lot of inspiration around traveling and moving about and like just interacting with new people. So not being able to do that at first, I was like, what do I write about? Like everyone was just sitting in their house on Zoom. Like, I don't want to write a song about Zoom.
No, they don't need the credit. They're doing just fine for themselves.
Yeah, they don't need the brand recognition. They're all right. And, you know, not kind of performing, just, I was a little worried that I would have there's not much going on to like be inspired by. But one thing I've kind of clung on to is I love, like, in addition to performing, I just love going to honky tonk bars, and I love the social aspect of country music. And I really love line dancing and two-stepping, and that's how I've made all of my friends. And it's, part of the musical community, but just my social community in general. So those memories of doing that have really kind of kept me going. And I feel it's like almost like a fever dream. Like I start thinking about it and being in that environment again. So I think a lot of my songs are inspired by wanting to be back in that kind of atmosphere and wanting to just, I think right now, like everyone just clings to like wanting to have whatever moment of joy and like fun you can find. It becomes so important. So the next record will, I think, really be inspired by that. And I feel like by the time I can get around to recording it and putting that out, like everyone will be back to like dancing, and like everyone's just going to be so excited to be doing that again, and in whatever capacity that looks like. That I really want to create music that people can dance to, and just have fun.
I think, and I've heard many people talk about the fact that like once please, sometime soon, that things do open back up, and there is kind of this slide back into some sense of, and I don't want to say normalcy, because I'm not sure if what normal may not look like normal looked in 2019. It may have a completely different facade over the top of it, but there's not going to be any more your friends call you up and say, hey, I know it's Thursday, but we're going to go down and we're going to have a couple of drinks and we're going to dance. Maybe on some nights, if you've had a long day or you're just, you're like, like nobody's turning things down anymore. People are going to be like, there's a show on Friday. There's a show on Saturday. There's something in the park on Sunday. We're going to everything because we haven't done a thing in a year. I think there's going to be this gravitational pull to, like, if somebody asks you, the answer is yes. When can I be there? What can I bring?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm certainly ready for that, I will say.
No, it's very cool. I'm so thankful that you took some time out to chat on the show today. I'm super excited for the new album, Pawn Shop Queen. It drops on April 9th. The video is out now. It's available on YouTube. I don't know where your heart's been. I've watched it, like, I think we started chatting like last week. I probably got like 10 of those views at least. And then I listened like 3 or 4 more times. I was listening to it today. But I super love your sound, and I love the again, like I said, I listened to it and I was like, whoa, I feel this, I feel what she went through, this heartbreak that she went through. So I think that connection is super amazing, and I'm sure the rest of the record's like that, and I can't wait to hear it, and I can't wait to, and I'm sure you can't wait to get out and maybe play a show, do some things in front of human beings. That would be great. Not on Zoom or on StreamYard.
I don't know. This is pretty, what? I do appreciate having these kind of conversations, because in a live show setting, like, there's not really space for that all the time. And it's just nice to have these more casual interactions, but still have in-depth conversations. So I really appreciate you reaching out to me and just, again, being moved by the music. Like, people telling me that is what keeps me going and makes me not feel like, okay, I'm just toiling away here in isolation, where, I'm just talking about myself in song form and no one else can relate to it. So it really means a lot that you had me on today.
No, I'm super excited to hear more from you, more of the music. And again, I think you're as challenging as I know it's been, 2.5 years and the process. The fact that there's probably been many ways to get on the off ramp and say, you know what, we took a shot, just right now isn't the time. But the fact that you stuck with it and you got the video out and you have the album coming out, I think that's a testament to you as an artist and to your drive to do it. And I mean, you already got the sound. I mean, it's refreshing to hear a sound like you have, and I'm so thankful that I got a chance to find you on the interwebs and to have you on the show and hear more about you and your story. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cooper, and hopefully we'll chat soon.
We will. We'll be chatting, and there'll be live shows. You'll be out dancing. The fun is going to be had. I can't wait till. And it's hashtag Western Wednesday. You got the boots on.
Yep.
It's a good day.
It is a good day.
Katie Jo, thank you so much for your time and enjoy. And hopefully, and the record drops again April 9th. Everybody go and download it. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
There we go. Katie Jo on the show. I've been telling you this since I talked about her, be having her on the show. Go and watch the video. Go and listen to the music. It is a breath of fresh air. And if everybody needs a breath of fresh air right now, go get one from Katie Jo. I have to say thank you to my guests. And I got a couple people saying thank you to Katie on here. Thank you, Pascal. Oh, up in Canada, Canada saying thank you to Katie. And let's see who else jumping on here. Mark saying you've come such a long way from the Lovely Outlaws. Next time I have you on, Katie, we're talking Lovely Outlaws. I didn't get to that story. She's still in the green room. I can see her laughing. So fun to watch you grow as an artist. Absolutely. I can't wait to see where the trajectory takes her because it's upward. Very cool stuff. At Katie Jo Music on Instagram and also on at Katie Jo Music on Facebook. And then go get that album, April 9th. It's called Upon Shop Queen. To all of you who have been tuning in for the last couple of hours, I appreciate you. Thanks to George Ducas for being on the show. He's got shows coming up, Texas and Iowa. Get ready. GD is coming to do some live stuff. And I'm excited for live music. I'm excited for new artists. And it's just been a great day. It's been a great day. I hope you had a great day as well. I hope you enjoyed hanging out on the program. Please, if you would like, you can even get more interactive with the show. Join our Patreon. The link is in the comments of all of the platforms that we're on right now. Exclusive audio, content, pictures. We're doing some merch. We got a whole bunch of cool things coming up with Cooperville Live. It's exciting. So today's show, thank you to George Ducas and to Katie Jo. I have to get I still write things down in a notebook. So I have to check my notebook to see who is coming up tomorrow because it's going to be another big show. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday already? There we go. A couple more country artists can be on the program tomorrow. Travis Shallow and Ryan J, both on the program, coming up tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. Central on all of these channels. Wherever you're watching, please make sure you hit follow, hit subscribe, and we're going to grow this thing and keep on bringing light to the artists that deserve to have the light shone upon them. Until we meet again, that will be tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another.